Hello friends, welcome to Technique. This is Nirmal here, and in this video we will be doing the detailed camera review of the flagship device from Vivo under the X series, the Vivo X70 Pro. The Vivo X series is known for exceptional camera performance, and here again we have a good camera setup on the Vivo X70 Pro. It comes with a 50 megapixel quad camera setup co-engineered with Zeiss optics. So let's see how it stacks up in the flagship segment. So before going into the detailed camera review, if this is your first time on this channel, do hit that red subscribe button and also hit the bell icon to get notified of all the videos we publish. So first let's have a look at the camera hardware. Now coming to the camera hardware, the phone packs a 50 megapixel primary sensor with f1.75 aperture, and it is a custom Sony IMX766V sensor made for Vivo with optical image stabilization and gimbal motor. There is a secondary 12 megapixel ultra wide angle lens with f2.2 aperture and a third 12 megapixel telephoto portrait lens, which is a Sony IMX663 sensor with 2x optical zoom and 50 mm focal length with f1.9 aperture. And finally you get an 8 megapixel periscope lens with 5x optical zoom and optical image stabilization included. Now coming to the front camera, this is a 32 megapixel shooter with f2.45 aperture. So let's see how the camera performs. First, let's have a look at the daylight shots. In the daylight conditions, especially in bright sunlight, the primary sensor is able to produce great details. With Zeiss partnership, the details, sharpness levels and colors looks excellent. There is good amount of details in the images, and this is evident when you zoom into the pictures. The sky colors are also really well done. Few images did show a bit of vibrancy in colors, but not a major issue though. The dynamic range is very good on the device and resolves shadows extremely well. In terms of daylight, there is hardly anything to complain here, and the images came out really well, and one of the best cameras in this price segment, replacing the Vivo X60 Pro. The phone can do 2x and 5x optical zoom and up to 60x digital zoom, and the quality is once again pretty good. The 5x zoom has great details and sharpness levels, and colors are really well done. Even the regular photos, when zoomed, you can see excellent details on offer. Another good thing is that the consistent colors offered on all the lenses. Also, there is a scene optimizer which makes the images a bit more dramatic, and if you don't like this, you can always turn it off from the settings. Now moving on to the 12 megapixel ultra wide angle lens, here also you can see great details and sharpness levels, and the overall quality looks impressive. Here again the colors are really well done with almost natural colors. The sharpness levels are once again good for the ultra wide angle lens. Quite often you see brands not doing justice to the ultra wide angle lens, but that's not the case with Vivo X70 Pro. This can get really good ultra wide angle images in this price segment. Now moving on to the close-up images, the phone does a good job with details and sharpness levels. But here we found that the colors to be a bit boosted and does not have really natural colors. This isn't bad, but it could be slightly better overall. The phone can do impressive macro photography, and one of the best flagship cameras to have impressive macro photography. The colors are good and it offers excellent details too. Now moving on to the portraits. This is one area where the Vivo X70 Pro has improved from the X60 series. Last year we mentioned that the portraits looks a bit too whitish in terms of skin tones and not natural looking. But this time they have worked on it, and the portraits are really good. By default it takes portraits in 2x with 12 megapixel telephoto lens with 50 mm focal length, but you can always switch to 1x portraits as well. The phone also offers different Zeiss portrait modes like Biota. The edge detection is also good in portraits. Moving on to the low light conditions, the Vivo X70 Pro produces images with great sharpness levels, good colors and details. It is literally a champ when it comes to night photography. When it comes to extreme low light, it still maintains great details. As mentioned before, the scene optimizer can make the images a bit dramatic, but you can always turn it off from the settings. You can also toggle the night mode, and here the details are excellent and one of the best low light cameras in this price segment. The colors are also good, and also the sharpness levels are impressive. You can also do low light at 2x and 5x optical zoom, and having OIS makes the images so good, and details are excellent here as well. Vivo has really mastered the low light performance. Now finally moving on to the selfie camera. The phone can take some good food selfies with 32 megapixel shooter. The skin tones are good, and you can turn off the beauty mode, and you can get good looking selfies with excellent dynamic range too. Since selfies are more of a personal choice, you can judge based on the clarity. The phone has also good edge detection in selfie portraits. Overall selfies have come good, but again it's more of a personal choice. Now moving on to the video recording. The optical image stabilization plus gimbal combo is not available for 4K at 60 fps, but there is stabilization on offer and hence the video looks good. The details are good and so is the sharpness levels. Colors are once again really well done. But when you shift to 4K at 30 fps, the gimbal stabilization is available. The stabilization works pretty well and it provides a stable footage with good sharpness levels too. Here again the colors are really well done. Moving on to 1080p resolution at 60 fps, here again the quality is good and stabilization works pretty well. The colors and details are once again good and sharpness levels is also good. Finally, the 1080p resolution at 30 fps, here again the gimbal stabilization works extremely well and you get a very stable footage. You can also do 2x and 5x optical zoom while recording, and here again details are good and overall it has come good with good sharpness levels and details. The phone also supports 1080p ultra wide angle video recording, and here also you can see pretty good stable footage being offered. The phone also supports slow motion at 120 and 240 fps and the footage is once again quite decent. So this is the front facing camera sample from the Vivo X70 Pro, so it can record videos in 1080p resolution, and here is the camera sample, so you can judge yourself how good the clarity of the video is and also the audio output. So summing up, how does the Vivo X70 Pro stack up? The Vivo X70 Pro has the best camera below 50,000 price segment right now in India, and there isn't any phone that can match the imaging capabilities at this price segment. With great daylight shots, macros, ultra-wide, selfies and low light performance, it excels in almost all areas. There is hardly anything to complain in this phone in terms of camera department, and Vivo has nailed it with best camera phone below 50k right now, and the Zeiss partnership has made this even better. Now if you are on the lookout for a good premium phone with exceptional camera abilities, then the Vivo X70 Pro is the one to look for. So that was a detailed camera review of the Vivo X70 Pro. Hope this video was useful. Do hit that like button and also hit the subscribe button for more videos. Thanks for watching. Hope to see you in our next video. Have a great day.